Importance of preserving our environment and our water.
Yes, take a look at what Portage County is doing to help.
We're here at Crestwood Elementary and Intermediate School. They're teaching young kids at an early age about stormwater conservation. And joining us this morning is Joe Walsh-Cobb, who's a teacher at Crestwood Elementary, along with Michael Marazzi, who's with the Portage County Engineer Stormwater Utility Administrator building. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Michael, why are we here at Crestwood's campus today?
We're here today to take a look at what Crestwood Schools has done with the grant that was awarded to them from the Portage County Commissioners out of the Stormwater Fund to help them construct a land lab for the district.
Now, tell us about this grant and what that money went towards and how it's really going to benefit these kids.
The commissioners decided that one of our permit requirements is education. And in order to reach out to the masses, we felt it would be best to start with the schools because the schools have the greatest impact. So we set up a system, and Crestwood applied for a grant and was awarded a $25,000 grant out of the Stormwater District funds to be used to facilitate the construction of their land lab and to buy equipment that the students could use to take measurements and record things.
Now, fee reduction aside, and with all the money, obviously, why do you think it's important, I know being a teacher, to teach these kids at such an early age about stormwater conservation?
Ohio at one time had the largest number of wetlands in the United States, and we've lost over 90% of our wetlands, and people are now finding out how that impacts our whole society and our lives. So by teaching the really young, they go home, they carry that to mom and dad come back. And this isn't just for kids, we're expanding this to include high school and community groups too, so that we can really educate them about water and its impact and how wetlands impact environment.
Now, we're actually in the lab right now, and it's not your lab where there's people in white coats in a room. This is the lab. The land is the lab. What are these kids doing, and how are they using this land as a lab?
What they're doing right now, some of the kids are doing some baseline observations. So we just got this in, and we're still purchasing some equipment. So we used the grant to buy some GoPro cameras. Those cameras we're using to take pictures of different things, which meet standards that talk about, using scientific inquiry and talking about the environment. But what's more important about this is that by kids doing real research, they have real ownership of this, and that's something that will carry them forward. As we look to the 21st century, that's what we want kids to do. We want them to work collaboratively. We want them to be environmentally aware. We want them to use technology to connect themselves to the rest of the world.
Is it your plan to have this lab being used for years to come?
Absolutely, years to come. We've been really lucky. The Portage County Soil and Water has supported us for years. They've helped us do an Earth Day. It reaches out. We have over 600 participants who come to a free event every spring. I'm lucky enough to work with some high school teachers that are sending their kids and scout groups that are sending their kids to help with improvements here. We built that into our grant. And this grant, I'm the one that got elected to talk, but this encompasses several teachers from both buildings who've worked really hard. We tried things out with kids. We see what works. We're looking at our standards. We're looking at how we want kids to be. I live here, so these kids are my future. I've taught in this district long enough. The kids I taught are teachers here now, and so it's important to us and to move these things forward.
Well, I could just see the passion in your voice and in your actions, and these are first and fourth graders, and they really look like they really love what they're doing. So they are really taking ownership of this.
They really do. They own this, and we're lucky enough. The kids that are seniors this year were our first group they're our second year Earth Day participants who are coming back and giving back. And so it's exciting, and it's not just me on the face here today, but it's lots of teachers, lots of passion, lots of kids.
Well, thank you so much, Michael, Joe, for doing this and for joining us. And if you want to learn more, you can do so at ohiodnr.com/soil and water. Thanks again.
Thank you very much.
Yay, and thank you, Portage County.
Yeah, it was great. It was just wonderful to see those kids. They really, truly seemed like they were enjoying it and they wanted to learn. So It was a great day.
Learning can be fun, see?
Yes.
Like that. Speaking of learning, we're going to find out what's new at Boo at the Zoo coming up. Joe has a preview for us.
It's time for our hot travel deal of the week. The trivia question. What cruise line was named Best Cruise